Who is there with me? You're live now. Who is there? Who is there with me? I hope I'm not the only one here. Believe that I'm not the only one here. Maybe wait for few minutes. I can't find anyone. I have to start. Is anyone here who is with me? I think nobody is there yet, and it's 5 minutes past 2 already. So today we are back here on Emotions Matter, and we have been having this series for quite some months now. So if you're just joining me, my name is Shakirat Ulu, popularly called Always Shakara. So today we're going to be talking about empathy, and why it's important. Empathy is one of the core frameworks when it comes to becoming more emotionally intelligent as a parent or as an individual. So empathy simply means the ability to put ourselves in other person's shoe. That is the ability to try to put ourselves in other people's situation. So just try and put ourselves in a person's shoe and imagine how life is for them or how a particular situation is for them. And the core of empathy is rooted in compassion. And what does it mean to be compassionate? Compassionate is the ability to 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 be to 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 love oneself, to be empathetic with other people, to feel for others, to understand others, to see things from others people's perspective. So that's the foundation, that's the root of empathy, that is compassion. So the extent of us being compassionate to ourselves is the extent to which we can give it to other people. Everything must emanate from self. Like I usually say that all that we're trying to teach, all that we're trying to model to our children must begin from us, the parents. Modeling these characters and deliberately showing them. When we show children in actions, they naturally will pick up to things because children learn more by what they see and less of from what we tell them. Even humans generally, but children especially, they learn from what they see, from what we do by imitating others, rather than from most of the things that we say. So we should be more focused on how we react to them or how we respond to them, how we treat them, because they are automatically learning. So there are basically five types of emotional needs of all human. When you see a person performing a particular behavior, you will know that this person is either performing is in need of this particular emotion. It could be the security for security reasons. It could be for varieties. It could be for importance. It could be for love and belonging. Another time it could be for learning and growth. So understanding this will make you as a parent understand why your child might be behaving the way he's behaving. Also, I have to state that there are three major types of empathy. There are three major types of empathy. We have the cognitive empathy, we have the emotional empathy, and we have the compassionate empathy. And for me, compassionate empathy is the best because it's the one that that makes you perform an action, that makes you make efforts. Unlike cognitive empathy, you may just understand, okay, truly, my child is in pain. You're just seeing what is obtainable, but you are seeing and thinking through what is obtainable, what you can see. But are you really making efforts? You can see that your child is not happy, your child is moody. But are you making effort to assist that child, to help that child come out of that situation, or to just be there mindfully with them with your presence? Like I usually say that one of the best gifts we can give to our children is our presence. And our presence is something that we cannot trade for anything. And it's going to have a long run effect on our children because presence is something that you can't buy with money. Many of us we are too engrossed in looking for money, looking for how to make life better, and of course we are trying to do those things for our children. But if our presence is not there, if they can't feel our presence, then we might be getting a lot of things wrong. If you're just joining me, my name is Shakirat Oluokun, popularly called Always Shakaro. Do well to please leave a comment and let me know where you are watching me from. I'm talking to you all the way from Ibadan, Nigeria. So, like I was saying, that our presence is something that we cannot trade for our children. Children need our presence because in every point of their life, once we miss a particular phase of their life, we have missed it forever. We can't get that phase again. It's gone forever. We can't come back there to say I can come and change it. So, for cognitive empathy, it is just merely understanding that maybe perhaps my child is in pain, my child is not behaving the way it's supposed to behave. You just take note of it. You're seeing it. You are seeing the situation the way it is. While emotional empathy will just be putting your past into the present situation. You're trying to portray your past. Okay, let me say as a child too. When I stole as a child, how did I expect people to treat me? Was I happy with the way they treated me? Did shaming me as a child for stealing help me to become better? That's emotional empathy. You're trying to emotionally put yourself in your child's situation because everything you are saying here, we are trying to relate it to parenting. So cognitive emotional empathy has to do with just trying to put your own past situation, your own past experience that is similar to what is obtainable now to the present situation. In this case, with your child. For example, maybe your child is lying to you and you don't like that lie. It's like you're trying to reframe that. Why did I possibly as a child lie why did I lie while I was a child too? Was it because I was afraid? Was it because I was trying to protect somebody? Was it because I was trying to protect myself or to gain influence or to gain popularity amidst friends? There are countless reasons that can drive you into lying as a person. So you're trying to bring that your own past experience into your child experience now. Now giving the child excuse, okay, I think my child is lying because perhaps he's afraid that I'll beat him or because he's trying to protect me from getting to know the information that might hurt me. So that's empathy for you. You're putting your child in your own situation in an emotional way. So that will assist you to understand that okay, my child is lying not because he's a bad child. He's only lying because he is coming from this face. He's coming from this point, from this angle. You are seeing things differently. And for compassionate empathy, that one is the peak. Is the one that makes you take action to help out. You can just observe. Cognitive is just observing, just knowing that it's happening. Emotional empathy is trying to relate it to your own past experience and trying to imagine how you felt as a child. But compassionate empathy, on the other hand, is taking effort to assist that child. Okay, you are lying. Hello, dear. I know you are lying. I know you told me a lie just now, but I'm not happy with that. You are trying to relate a story, maybe your own personal story, to tell your child why your child should not lie again and what line can possibly be for your child. What line can breed in him or her. That's compassionate empathy. You are making effort to assist the child. You're not just labeling the child like we normally do. We just label the child as thief. Just because the child stole, we label the child as thief. And as time goes on, the child begins to manifest that prophecy because that's prophecy. When you continue to call a child a particular name for a particular long time, the child comes to believe that thing about himself or herself. So that's compassionate empathy is assisting that child, helping the child. And to me, that's the peak of all empathy. You can observe that I'm in pain. You're just observing. Oh, sorry, I can see you're in pain. Emotional empathy, you make another effort, another level. You're making effort. Oh, sorry, I know it hurts. It's actually very difficult. I know it hurts to do this, to do that. You are trying to relate it based on your own personal experience. While compassionate is you're trying to help out, so you're trying to solve that situation. You're trying to say, I'm here for you with your presence, and you're also telling the child that I can help you overcome these challenges. So to me, empathy, the peak of empathy is compassionate empathy. And the extent to which we can actually do that ourselves is the extent to which we can do that for others. Let me give you an example. There was a time that my foster son is now nine plus. There was a time that he used to steal. He used to take things that was not for him in the house. Like go to the fridge, we'll take milk, we'll drink milk, we'll take this, you take that. And I don't like that behavior. No parents will like that, obviously. So I was in my own self-righteousness, I was trying to correct him in the wrong way. I was doing exactly what was done to me as a child. I remember when I stole then my mom would my mom would take hot pepper, grounded pepper, would ask me to insert it in my bum bum and my eyes. But unfortunately, this did not change my behavior because it made me learn how to sneakiness. It made me perfect in telling lies. I was now thinking for ways to avoid her anger and her beating because I don't want her to do that to me because I know it hurts. But it doesn't really change my behavior of stealing as a child. So when my foster son was doing the same thing, what I started thinking about was the same thing. The natural response that comes to me was for me to just do the same thing that was done to him. Of course, I did not use the paper, I did not use the blade approach, but I used skin. I would beat him, I would eat him, I beat him to the extent that he got to a time that he had this mark. The cane that I used in beating him almost entered his eyes. It left a mark on his eye, on his side of his eyelid. So naturally, that's what we naturally do what was done to us, to our children, if we are not mindful. Naturally, that's what we want to do because that's mirror effect. There's something that we call mirror effect in psychology. It means that once something happens to you or something happens presently to you now, there's a part of your brain that goes back to your past to bring out that part of behavior, that kind of scenario, and repeats what was done to you exactly. So it's a programming. So I started beating my foster son, but to no effect, it doesn't change. So it took me deliberate efforts, training and enrolling for courses for me to understand that no, this is not the right way. And I had to start talking to him, start asking myself if when I was a child, what did I actually want them to have done for me? And to God's help, with God's help and patience, I was able to help him overcome that habit of stealing. So now he has no reason to steal again now. If he wants something, he'll tell me, I want this thing, mommy, can I have it? If I say no, ask me why, mommy, why can't I have it? I explain to him and he understands. So most times we do things that was done to us because we actually have not deliberately or consciously tried to seek alternatives. People will tell you that no, the only way to beat a child the only way to correct a child is by beating. But the question is, what if you find an alternative that does not require you beating the child? Are you willing to try it out? That's where many parents get stuck. Where you are just trying to defend things, defend some approaches that are not defendable. And of course, those approaches are not sustainable because you cannot always be with your child. You will not always be with your child. Your child will leave you. Your child will explore. Your child will leave you at the point in their life. So do you have to always follow them around to correct them, or you want to equip them with skills that can empower them, that can make them self-sufficient and make them self-controlling, such that they can make the right decision even when you're not there? So it took me time for me to be able to help assist my child by using that compassionate empathy to help him to overcome that habit of stealing. It's about looking back into our past. Many of our own upbringing is one of the things that is affecting us now to become the best version of ourselves for our children. So that's empathy for me. So another thing that we are going to be talking about is what do I call it? I think I called it the unconditional positive regard. Yes, unconditional positive regard. It means you're giving somebody utmost respect, irrespective of age, religion, or anything, or racism, anything. That you are respecting everybody as human as expected. You are seeing somebody as capable of love and belonging because as human what we all crave for is ability for us to be seen, for us to feel heard, for us to feel understood. So when we don't get these things naturally, we look for ways on healthy ways to seek them. So it's in our biology, it's something that is wired into us. Once we don't get those things, we seek them in the wrong way. So unconditional positive regard is a part of empathy. It means you are respecting everybody, you are giving everybody their due respect, irrespective of their age, their their condition, their situation. You're helping that person. So it means you're not judgmental. When things happen, you don't judge them. You're not quick to judge. He did that because this. And even if you have to judge, you do it in a way that is empowering. You ask questions. It means you are not you understand that people are not their emotions. That is because your child is angry now, doesn't mean your child is a bad child. That all emotions are what are respected. It is the ability to express their emotions that you are most likely after. That is, you don't shield your child. Thank you very much, Milika Tanila Saba. Thank you for joining me, ma'am. I really appreciate that. That is, you don't shield your child from experiencing their emotions. You embrace their emotion, but you teach them how to express them in an healthy way. So, and again, you understand that a child unconditional positive regard also means that you don't label a child. You understand that it is not that a person is not their behavior. Somebody might behave rudely to you now. A teenager, for example, might behave rudely to you. It doesn't mean that child is rude because being rebellious is part of teenagehood period. Yes, the ability to want to rebel, and rebellion will happen if you will be higher. The rate of rebellion will be higher if you, as a parent, have not built that relationship as during the childhood years. Because everything if you don't listen to your child and give your child that attention that they seek, you don't make them feel seen and heard. Automatically, they will rebel when they get to teenagehood because that conditioning, that love is not there. That love is not there. That sense of I belong here is not there. But once you have given your child those love, affection, and compassion during their childhood years, believe me, that does not mean they will not really rebel when they come to teenagehood. But believe me, to be minimal because they know that they can always come back to you regardless of their flaws. But I'm sorry, let me hold the fan. It's stuffy here. They just got the lights. Thank you. So regardless of their flaws, your child knows that I can always come back to my parents. They are always here for me. So when you give your child rebellion, as I was saying, is one of the traits of being a teenager. They will rebel. But once you have done your job as a child during their childhood years, it can reduce the rate of their percentage of being rebellious, of your child being rebellious. So it also means that you don't also giving a person the unconditional positive regard also means that you don't label their past. You don't see them as their past. That is, their past does not determine their future or their presence. Many of us, our parents, they tag us or they see us based on our past. Maybe because you have stolen before, or because you as a person you're not so conforming. You know, some of us are not conforming. We are strong willed. We don't follow the right way. When they say something, you query them. When they say something, you say, "Mommy, I don't think you should go this way." So because of that attitude, they still have that attitude. They still see you in that light that Ungoro Simileno, she doesn't listen to me, she doesn't obey me. And it's not about being. Yes, so my sister, Ozali, rejoice at thank you for joining us. They need to be shown love. And until they feel love, our claim of love is not love. It is what I call love that is love to me. It is what you call love that is love to you. I might see love as giving me attention, you might see love as gifts. So it's my own definition of love that you must display as love to me. Thank you for that submission, ma'am. So you must not define somebody as in terms of their past. You must understand that we are all work in progress and life always happens to us in different forms. And must also know that what unconditional positive regard requires that we understand that we human, we are social animals. That is, we are wired for connection. Yes, we are all wired for connection. We are all that person that we strive to connect, regardless of our situation or our environment. It is the environment um, or our circumstance that teaches us not to love other people. That teaches us that religion is a basis of connection. It's the environment that teaches us that it is by tribe that we can connect. It's the environment that teaches all sorts of flaws that we have to start deliberately unlearning. So we have to understand that giving people positive, unconditional positive regard is part of being compassionate. Is part of being empathetic. That is part of being playing the role of being empathy. You are giving out your own kind of empathy. So it is important that we note these things that first, we must not be judgmental. Part of being empathetic is that we are not judgmental of other people. We think before we talk. When we have any reservation to make, we do so in the best of manner by making the person understand that we are also vulnerable, including our children. So you're trying to teach your child not to do something, make your child understand the reason why you're telling them that. For example, if a child is speaking to you in a rude manner that you don't like, you make your child understand that not that they are rude. You don't say you are rude. You tell your child that you are you are talking in a rude manner. You are talking in a rude manner, and feel I feel disrespected, or I feel inferior when you talk to me like that. Or you can use any word, any adjective. I don't know. For example, like you can say I feel rude or I feel disrespected when you talk to me in that manner. You're making the child understand that it's not as if the child is flawed, but the child is using an unacceptable approach to talk to you. So we must learn that the words that we use for our children is as important as the behavior we are trying to change. And until we use the right word to change them, they might not be willing to change. So we must not be judgmental. We must not label people based on their emotions. We must not label people based on their behaviors. We must not equate their past to their future. We must not tag them based on their present situation. As if, maybe, for example, a child is not performing very well, you're not tagging the child that the child is not, you cannot amount to anything. You don't even know how to do anything. What exactly are you going to know how to do? You cannot even do anything successfully on your own. These are things we should look out for. Almost understand that as humans, we are all social animals. It's our environment that teaches us not to socialize. It's our environment that teaches us to 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 tag or label other people. So I hope you find this session worth your time, and I hope you leave a comment as you join me. And the last note, the one that I was talking about the five basic needs, emotional needs of all humans. I said it could be security. Security in the sense that if you ask somebody that what is your utmost need, it could be somebody might be acting from a place of security. For a child, for example, if your child feels secure and safe, your child will feel seen. And that's the essence of home. A home should be a place and a heaven place for every child. As your child must feel safe in your home. That's security. That's emotional need of security. It could be in terms of it could come. Some people might express that need in form of controlling other people. Why most parents also do the same thing too. They want to control their children because they want to feel secure that their children are not doing the wrong thing. But the question is, are there other ways? Of course, there are other ways to control a child without controlling the child. I'll use it that way. So some people they express their emotional needs through varieties. That is through changing things. They want to change it. I want to explore. They want to so they love surprise, they love adventure. You see them going out, doing this, doing that. And other people they want to feel important. Some people will express their emotional need through feeling their ability for them to feel important. It means for them, they understand that they like attention. Your child might be acting because the child needs attention. It could be that the child wants to feel significant. It means for your child to feel significant, it means you must for him, you as a parent must catch them doing good thing and praise them. So you understand that they want to be maybe some people will act because they want to feel they want to be the number one in everything they do. So these are the first one is love, connection. I said that before that we are all wired for connection as human. Is in our biology. We want to feel connected to other people. We want to feel seen, heard, and understood and valued. And once we don't get that, we look for those things through unhealthy means. It means we can look for them in unruly ways. We can look for them in any means. And once we get them, we can even lose ourselves when we don't get them in the right place. Because in getting them in the wrong place, it means we're going to try to fit in to just get those to have those needs fulfilled. So love could be in terms of partnership for some people, it could be in terms of connection for some people. But the basic thing is that we have five basic emotional needs. We send for security, for variety, for importance, for love and belonging, and for learning or growth. Yes, some people derive their emotional needs from learning and growing. That is, they believe that it is in giving and learning that they grow, that they feel satisfied. And for others, it could be in giving and contribution. That is, I love to give and to contribute. I love to give and to contribute. So these are the basic human needs that we all, as human, we all act to fulfill. And seeing somebody behave can assist you to understand why they are behaving, where they are coming from, and it can make you less judgmental as an individual. I hope you find this section helpful to you, and I hope it was worth your time. Thank you for staying tuned. Do well to join me again next week. Bye. Be more than a parent. Peaceful.